Well, hello there, and welcome to another in the Take 5 Steps series. Now, today, rather than look at a piece of repertoire, I'm going to step into Christmas, as the song goes, and we're going to look at how we can use Christmas carols and songs to help with the learning, to help with the rhythmic understanding, as well as the notation and general musicianship, and theory as well, what I call applied musicianship these days, because Christmas carols and songs are really wonderful opportunities for learning, I think. And I'm going to be doing some of the activities that I'm going to take you through with some of my students that I've got who are working on applied musicianship at the moment. We've been doing a lot this term, and I'm going to see if I can apply those things now to this particular piece of music. So the one I've chosen is a very well-known carol. It's Silent Night. Now, this is a lovely, gorgeous arrangement in the Christmas Bonanza box that we have here at the Curious Piano Teachers, and it's been specially done for us by Victoria Proudler. Now, Victoria has made a really beautiful, simple but highly effective arrangement, and this is at about the elementary 2 going on to elementary 3, grade 1 to grade 2-ish kind of level. And let me just show you part of the score. This is just part of the score, and as you can see, it's your traditional Silent Night, but have a little listen. Beautiful, just really beautiful. So the kinds of things I might try doing with my students, and I might first of all start by making it an oral activity. So this is oral training, if you like, and they will know the tune, but can they find out some things about that before they see the actual score? So for example, can they work out from listening to you play it how many beats there are in a bar? Is it a major or is it a minor key? One little activity you might try with them is the song uses in that first section, it uses chord 1 and chord 5, chord 5-7 actually. So it's a really good activity to get them very used already to triads and to thinking about tonic and dominant absolutely at this stage. These are the foundation stages. That's a really useful concept to teach them. So can we develop that a little bit? Yes, we can say, right, when you hear chord 1, you're sitting down, and as soon as you hear chord 5-7, stand up, and if it goes back to chord 1, sit down again. Should we give it a little go? So you're sitting down to start with. When you hear chord 5-7, and of course you have got the score there to help, but you might turn your back on it. Stand up when you hear 5-7, sit down again when you hear chord 1. Here we go. It's a very quick standing up and then you sit down almost straight away, don't you? So little games like that can make a huge difference to improving their listening skills. Other things you might get them to do is clap the rhythm of the first 2 bars. Yeah, they know the melody. Can they clap it? Having worked out there are 3 beats in a bar, can they then count that? Metrical counting ideally, but you might start with rhythm language first if that's an easier way in. So then it comes to kind of the written part. Now the written part is really important because it's actually how we confirm that they have learnt, that they understand what is going on. So questions that you might ask, I've made a little list here that I'm going to be trying out with my students. In which key is this piece? Yeah? And what note is the tonic of the piece? Now those 2 things kind of go together. So I often like to ask my students, what is the key of the piece and what tells you that? So this is the same thing, but it's saying in which key is this piece and then what note is the tonic of the piece? And you might ask them other questions as well to make sure that they have that understanding. So because I use solfa, having worked out the key and the note of the tonic, I might say, and what note is so? You might say, what note is the dominant, or what note is the fifth note? We've also been working on leading note, and they're very enthusiastic about their leading note, so I'm going to ask them, and what note is the leading note? By this point, by the way, they have got the score in front of them, yeah? They're looking at the score. So we've been doing, with my students, quite a lot of work on tonic and dominant, Roman numerals, etc. for triads. So I might say to them, and what is the Roman numeral for the last bar? And you can guess that it is chord 1. Yeah? Actually finishes like that in the last 2 bars. And then what is the Roman numeral for bar 22? Now, you might already have guessed. Of course it's, yeah, so we've got chord 5/7 going to chord 1. Then, and what is the name of the cadence that these 2 bars form, yeah, or what these 2 triads form? That might be a better way of putting that question. All right, and then finally I'm going to reinforce that rhythm and say to them, copy out the rhythm of bars 1 to 2 and write the counting underneath. And then, having done that, we'll go through it, we'll talk about it, and then they can go off and learn it. They should find it a very easy learn, but they will have shown me their understanding, hopefully, and that they have learnt about all these different concepts, and that they can apply it in their own teaching, or their own pieces, their own playing, not teaching. One other thing that I might do, depending on the time, not necessarily all in the same session, but in another session, is I might take that idea of chord 1 and 5 and say, okay, can you create your own melody line on top of that? And in best improvisation tradition, I changed it as I went on. So there you go. There's a few ideas for you. Go and try them. Choose a Christmas carol that your students are learning or they're going to learn. Find some questions that you can ask them about it and have a lot of fun finding out what they've learned and whether they really understand stuff. Thank you so much for being with me today. See you next time. Bye for now.